it's Mells, and welcome to episode 16 of 31 Days with the King. This is a short series dedicated to all things Stephen King, with a daily upload on one of his works. Now, we'll try our best to incorporate some of his more popular titles, as well as some of the ones that are lesser known or weren't as well received. So with that, let's get started with today's pick. It's a little bit of a unique one, and it is Gwendy's Button Box. And I say it's unique because it's co-authored. So this was co-authored with Richard Chizmar. If you're not familiar with his work, I do suggest you check it out. He's actually a really good author himself. He's got a couple of short story collections out there that are really, really good. Very different from Stephen King, which you can tell is influenced in this novel as well. So Gwendy's Button Box is about a 12-year-old girl in the 70s. It takes place in Castle Rock. Okay, so it ties into that whole Castle Rock universe. And she's just in the early stages of puberty. Okay, she's kind of not happy with some things about herself. So she dedicates the summer before she goes into middle school to changing some of these things about herself. And one of the things that she does pretty regularly is she jogs up the suicide stairs, which is a famous set of stairs in Castle Rock. And of course, it got its name for the obvious reasons. A couple people had jumped from the top of the stairs to their death. Now, one day she gets to the top and she meets a very strange man. His name is Richard Ferris. Okay, he is in all black and he seems to have this kind of magical type of mystery to him. He strikes up a conversation with Gwendy and she starts to realize that he seems to know more about her than he should because they just met, right? And she's not scared of him. She actually feels kind of like at peace with him. And so he gifts her with this box. This box has two levers on the side of it, okay? And then it has buttons on the top of it, which is where you get Gwendy's Button Box from. Now, he explains to her that this is a magical box, okay? And there are several things that this box can do for you. It can give you great happiness and pleasures in life that you have been wanting, but it also has this other side to it, almost to where you would hold the fate of the world or of certain events in the palm of your hands with this box. So that's kind of how the story goes. It progresses through Gwendy's teenage years. A lot of things happen. This is pretty heavy on the supernatural, but it's not horror supernatural. There are a couple of scary parts in it. There are a couple of deaths in it. But I think the overall feeling of this book is meant to be just that internal battle with yourself on what you do when you're faced in certain situations. Now, on our last episode, I reviewed Elevation, and I just re-listened, actually, to Gwendy's Button Box, and I get a lot of Elevation vibes from this book. It doesn't have anything political in it, so obviously, if that is something that you want to avoid, don't worry that there's no political aspects to anything in Gwendy's Button Box. I think you would really enjoy it. It's a Castle Rock story. That's what drew me in to begin with. And it's a pretty beautiful tale at the end when everything is kind of said and done with Gwendy and the Button Box. Now, I have mentioned on here that I do like to listen to Stephen King's works on Audible. I usually like to listen to the ones that he's narrated, but when I looked on Audible and saw the narrator for Gwendy's Button Box, I had to have it because I'm a huge fan of hers, and it is Maggie Siff. If you are not familiar with that name, she played Tara on Sons of Anarchy, one of my favorite shows, and when I listened to the book on the Audible version narrated by her, it actually, no pun intended here, but elevated the story for me to this extra emotional depth that I did not get the first time around when I read it on my own. She has such a calming and just beautiful voice, and it really took the story to this next level for me. So if you like to listen to things on Audible, I really highly suggest you listen to this on Audible narrated by her. She just really adds a lot of flair to the story for me. Now, Gwendy's Button Box is going to have a sequel to it. Okay, I think it is going to be called Gwendy's Magic Feather. It's supposed to be out, I believe, next month. Now, it is going to be authored by Richard Chismar only, but it is going to still be a Castle Rock story. So I'm actually pretty interested in reading that because it is one of King's famous places, locations for his stories, but kind of through the eyes of a different author, and I think that that's going to be fascinating. So we'll be on the lookout for that. When it comes out and I read it, I will give it a review. I would love to. Also, I believe I read that this may be getting some type of adaptation in 2020. I didn't get a lot of information on that, so I don't know if it's just rumored or if it's actually something that's in production already. I hope you have enjoyed going on the Gwendy's Button Box ride with me. I wouldn't be me if I did not show you the picture on the back. So, great photo of Stephen King as always. But we also get a good look at Mr. Chismar. He's kind of easy on the eyes himself. I like it. So, again, check this book out. It's well worth the read. And on Audible, I think it's a little over 2 hours to listen to. So, again, pretty easy to get through. Don't forget to subscribe to Superficial Gallery. Ring the bell to get notified when new content is published. We are halfway through the month of October, so we're halfway through 31 Days with the King. We are taking requests. We've done a few already, and we've got a few more to come this month. So if you have a request, go ahead and comment that below or tweet us at MellsBells84 out in the Twitter sphere. I'd be happy to cover it. Like the video and put your comments below if you have read the novel and let me know what you thought about it. With that, I will sign off. I will be back to haunt y'all tomorrow. Bye. Aww.